12's Nation, I need you to hear this carefully. This is Victor, and you're watching the 12's Nation Report, and today's topic is one of the wildest quarterback discussions I've heard all season. The Seahawks are 10-3. They have a 99% chance to make the playoffs. They're one of the best teams in the NFL. And somehow, there are people out there floating the idea that Seattle could move on from its quarterback this offseason. Yes, you heard that right. Before we break this down, because this deserves real analysis, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We are pushing to reach 300 subscribers, and every single one of you helps this channel grow for the entire 12's community. Alright, let's talk about this unreal scenario. So here's where this all started. ESPN's Dan Graziano recently wrote about potential surprise roster cuts across the NFL in the 2026 offseason. And buried inside that article was the name Sam Darnold. Now let me be clear right away. This is not reporting that Seattle plans to cut him. This is about contract structure and theoretical flexibility. But still, the idea alone has people talking. Here are the facts. Sam Darnold signed a 3-year, $100.5 million contract with the Seahawks. What makes it interesting? Only the first year was guaranteed. In 2026, his cap number would be $28 million. In 2027, it jumps to $45.7 million. Here's the key date. If Darnold is still on the roster 5 days after the Super Bowl, February 13th, then $17.5 million of his 2026 salary becomes fully guaranteed. If Seattle cut him before that date, they would owe $25.6 million in dead money, and nothing more beyond that. So yes, technically, the Seahawks built flexibility into the deal, but flexibility does not mean intention. Now let's bring some reality into this conversation. Sam Darnold in 2025, 9th in ESPN QBR 64.3, 68.3% completion rate. Seahawks are 10-3, one of the best records in the NFL. Projected over 17 games, Darnold is on pace for 4,135 passing yards, 29 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 68.1% completion. Let me say this clearly, as a fan, you do not cut a quarterback putting up those numbers, especially not in today's NFL. Now, to be fair, there has been a downturn, using EPA plus CPOE, a very respected advanced metric. Weeks 1 to 9, ranked first in the NFL. Weeks 10 to 14, ranked 15th. So yes, Darnold cooled off after an MVP-level start. But even then, look at Week 14 versus Atlanta. 249 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 64.5 QBR. Seahawks win 37-9. That's not collapse. That's a quarterback managing the game and winning. Let's not dance around it. The playoffs will decide the tone of this conversation. Last year in Minnesota, Darnold struggled when the pressure peaked, and that's part of why this narrative exists. But for Seattle to actually cut him, he would have to be historically bad, completely unplayable, a clear liability in multiple playoff games, and even then, it would still be a shocking move. Let me give you my honest fan take. Seattle. Let Minnesota take the heat for letting Darnold walk once, watched him grow, paid him, built around him. They are not going to panic now. At minimum, Sam Darnold is the Seahawks quarterback in 2026, with maybe a competition behind him, and that's normal NFL business. Cutting him outright, that's clickbait-level thinking. Now, I want to hear from you. 12's Nation. Is the idea of cutting Darnold ridiculous? Does he still need to prove it in the playoffs? Should Seattle bring in competition next year? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more real Seahawks talk, like the video, subscribe to help us reach 300 subscribers. Turn on notifications. This is Victor, and this was the 12's Nation Report. Playoff football is coming, and this conversation is just getting started. Go Hawks!